This program is about a single mother, frustration, and solution. This is my story. When I became a single parent, I was frustrated, hurt, angry, and I knew that I had to overcome these things in order to be a good mother. And one of the things that helped me, that was the main solution, was to find out who I was. Who am I? And that's our discussion today. I'm Sarah Hatch, the creator of MamaSarahHatch.com, a life coach, spiritual teacher, and encourager, and also visionary. Have helped many move from their ego self to the highest version of themselves, living in harmony with the universe, being in the present moment on a daily basis. I came from a large family. My mom and dad had 12 children, and I was the oldest of the 12. And back in the day, the oldest one helped with the younger one. So I helped my mom raise over half of the other 11. And I tell the story that all my dogs were real. They had real tears. They used real diapers. They were real. But helping my mom with my siblings was different than when I had a child, my child. At 24, I became a single parent. Yes, I was frustrated. I was angry. I was with all the emotions that you go through. But in my household, you were taught to take care of your responsibility. And the first thing I knew that I needed to do was release all resistance. No matter what you're doing, if you're resistant, it's just like flowing upstream. You make it harder. Release the resistance and you can just flow with it. So I knew I had to release the resistance and accept my responsibility. I didn't know how, but I've learned that the how is none of your business. None of my business. But the knowing that it was. So my attitude changed. And then the second thing I faced was community and churches and sometimes families. They put a label on you when you're a single mom. They put a label on that child. And I was determined that not me and my child. I wasn't going to make a single mom an excuse and a child of a single mom an excuse. It wasn't going to be an excuse. My son never heard me say, I'm a single mom because I'm a single mom. He never heard me say it. And he never said because my mom is a single mom. That wasn't going to be an excuse. And sometimes it was hard. But it still wasn't going to be an excuse. And so during that time, I learned to. I was emotional. You can get emotional sometimes. I was probably over emotional. And I thought, I've got to do something myself. I've got to help myself in some kind of way. I've got to become stronger. Because believe it or not, whatever you're going through, the mood that you're going through, your child picks up on that. It affects them too. And I knew that. And I knew I had to change because I didn't want that to affect him in no way, shape, or form. A child will come up to you and say, Mom, are you all right? Dad, are you all right? You sure you're okay? And you may not even tell them, but yet they feel it. And so because I became aware of that, I knew that I needed to change in some kind of way. Something had to happen for me. So the question kept arising up in me, kept coming up. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Just who am I? And I knew that we was here long before we was born. It was a knowing in me that knew that. But then I also learned that when we came in this body, this is what I learned. And when we came into this body, I was there before John, Sally, Sue, or Sarah. No matter what your name is, the I was there. I am. I became aware of I am. I exist even before the name came. And with activity, consciousness arrived. The I am is still there. But after a while, when your mom named you John, Sally, Sue, whatever your name may be, you start going towards that, identifying with that name, identifying with the name, identifying with the things that the family is uh, uh, have done or saying. You pick all that up and you take on an identity, become that person or that individual, and move away from the I am presence that is within you, which is the real you. When I came across this and understood it, and it became a part of my life, I began to live from the inside out. Nothing matters like it did. What I was so emotional about, it didn't even matter anymore. Nothing, it was just, it didn't matter. I became strong. My true self, I allowed my true self to come forward. I emptied out Sarah. And people use the name, and that's fine. All the characteristics. It's hard to be a person, but it's easy to be the self, the true self. And so that changed me. That made me so strong that I was able to love myself. And I know you can't give what you don't have. And the more you love yourself, the more love you acquire. And love is the highest vibration of all. You love yourself. And things begin to change. Lighter, lighter, and even lighter. And then my son now is 42 years old. And if I hadn't got hope, the question that was in me, then who am I, was the answer, was the solution for me at that time to do what was needed to be done. And not only that, also it made me understand my son even more. And there was times when I could hear wisdom coming out of him. I knew it was coming from another place. And I listened. Sometimes your children have wisdom for you. Sometimes your children know what you need to do. Listen to them. Understand where it's coming from. And my son is 42 years old now. Doing well, have a family of his own. I've worked all over the world. And you know how you reminisce later in his 30s? I was really apologizing. I said to him, I'm sorry that you had to live without a father. And he said to me, after he got grown, he didn't call me mom, he called me sister. He said, sister, if it had been any other way, it wouldn't have been right. And something hit me in the pit of my stomach. I said, you're right. I don't care if you are a single mother, single father. It's okay. It is okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter how you got there. It's, it's, you have everything. One of the things that I learned when I figured out who am I was I am complete. You are complete. You have all the tools that you need inside of you. And it's all okay. I'm Sarah Hatch, creator of SarahHatch.com. And so it is.